Hey everyone, I have here the 2022 Lego City Police Station. It's the big one, the big headquarters set for the year. Set includes 5 minifigures, a dog, this is a garbage truck, this is like an SUV, but it's really low riding, almost a station wagon, a very small helicopter, and the base of the station includes one of the larger 16 by 16 sized modern road plates, and the rest of it uses just regular plates. Looking around different sides of it, I just want you to get a general idea for the size and shape of this thing, keeping in mind that it is a $70 set, not a $100 set like the major police stations have been for years and years and years now. So it's built to an intentionally different scale and budget. I also want you to see what this looks like with all the figures and vehicles and things removed so you can understand just what you get for structure by itself. Now, this is not a good indication of what you get in the set because so much of the stuff has been removed from the scene. But for people like myself who really like structures and buildings in Lego, which we don't get all that frequently these days especially, I just think that this is a valuable quick little scene to see so you can understand just how much of it is just completely flat area and what you get for built up building. I'm going to go through the main building first, starting at the bottom floor. This does use the new doors, the doubleable doors for 2022. Just been introduced. The door pieces have been. The frame is the same one that's used for the larger 1x6x6 window that we already got a year or two ago. But these doors are great, and you're going to see them in a bunch of sets. They just allow you to have a double door setup with a lot wider swing overall, wider opening in a smaller space than you could before, and without anything in between. Previously to get that effect, you would have to have two 1x4x6 doors side by side, and then you have the big frame down the middle. This just has a little security camera up here. You got a couple plants outside, and I'll take you to the jail area later on. This is a print right here. It's the one new print piece that they brought in for this theme. On the inside, the ground floor has a coffee pot on a table off to the side, or a coffee maker. It's a very simple build with just a few pieces, but I feel like it's fairly appropriate. And then over on that side is the greeting desks, kind of the reception area where you'd have the desk sergeants behind there. No seat, unfortunately, no chair, so they just have to stand back there. I mean, the desk is plenty effective as it is, and then just for additional detail in there, they've got the sticker back at the back. Doesn't really do a lot here. This space doesn't really do a lot at all, but it does at least have enough depth for multiple figures to be posed around there. There's also access to the prison area, but again, we'll get to that separately. The second level up has a space for taking mug shots, so the camera on the stock there, and then this just has a few clips to hold on to accessories. As you can see on the wall back there, you've got the height indicators for the mugshot itself. And that's pretty much it for the detail on this level. There are also a couple donuts there. And then back behind the blue space here that's angled, which is really just for aesthetics, this is just a walkway. So a figure can walk back here and then ultimately get out to the catwalk, which takes you to the helipad, which I'll show you in just a minute. But this up here is the topmost level, which gives you an observation point for watching over the prison yard, and just also potentially, I mean, probably a lot of kids will use this just for looking for crimes around the city in general. At least that's how I used to think of it as a kid. So that's just a printed piece there. I mean, you see exactly what's there, and there's also access to the outside and a little bit of communication equipment up on top. This can spin around, also be angled up and down. A couple antennas over there. I kind of like the fact that they use these large pieces to just bring in a little bit of angling. It looks different, small number of pieces that does good stuff. The balcony has nothing on it out here. You've got the PA speakers, a light out here, and then going across to the other side, there's a small bit of access actually up a level. So no other suggestion of ladder or elevator or anything except right here, which, I mean, this works. We're kind of used to that for going between different levels. Used to not having a ladder or anything, going between different levels of major structures in Lego. For better or worse, I'd say for worse. Search light out here is interesting. What is that going to be searching for? Feels like it would, I mean, just the local area for bad things happening? Or it's going to point at the helicopter that's coming in for a landing. It's going to blind the pilot. This is the helipad. This uses the new color. Lego officially calls this vibrant green. You can call it vibrant yellow. Vibrant yellow. You can call it highlighter yellow if you want. neon yellow if you want. Call it whatever you want, but officially Lego calls it vibrant yellow. It's super bright. I don't know if this camera right now is capturing it as bright as it really is. It has a day glow effect, but you may notice that it's a little bit translucent. It lets a little bit of light through, or a little bit of shadow appear through from the other side. I can almost see the studs beneath this. It's not a good thing, not a good look, if you ask me. I wish that material was more opaque. I don't mind the color. It's interesting. The helicopter, I'll show you the helicopter separately, but it just fits on the pad. I mean, the helipad itself looks very narrow, but it does its job. Down below, this is access control. This is like a security office for access to the back, to the garage area, to the staff parking area. So this actually does allow you to operate the gate from the inside. It's interesting they use the red colored wire management piece here. That is very effective. And then you just have the controls for the minifig, another donut. But the thing about this is there is no garage, there is no parking space. It's all, you have to imagine it. I almost feel like this is not a good use of space right here. Not because it uses the newer type of road plate, but because it's like front driveway. Somebody can park here, you know, a civilian, I guess, can drive up here and then park there, but then I don't know, just a lot of it is not used all that well. I would have preferred to see this used for parking space in the back, because I personally like to have a garage or something, a place to store police vehicles, have them all come together. And this, man, I guess you can park them out front, but I don't know, doesn't, not the best balance in my personal opinion. This is a police dog training area, which is cool. So you've got the little balance beam there. Some poop, of course, although nothing to clean it up. That's a miss. They should have had a shovel included. But yeah, this is usable, and I don't remember exactly what these are called, but you know, the dog's supposed to go back and forth between them. That's very nice. That is a good space to play with, and it's nice to have the interactivity with a dog. And the set does include just the regular German Shepherd dog with the most basic style of print. I mean, it has the German Shepherd dog style, but not necessarily the coloring. But I'm okay with it. I like Lego animals in general. This just has a sticker on it, more of the highlighter yellow, or vibrant yellow. Now let's finally talk about the jail area. This has the dark orange colored version of the new squirrel that was just introduced, the new mold for squirrel, which is wonderful. We have a few colors of that in the first year. The breakout feature. So there's a single jail cell in this, and the breakout feature is different than usual because it breaks at an angle. This is kind of nice. Like the level of detail out here is pretty nice, and then it breaks open at an angle, which is very convenient. It has a toilet there. You got the recycled, unbleached toilet paper and the plunger off to the side. And when you remove this, you can see little bits of what's actually going down into the sewer there. So Lego's being a little bit more playful and accurate, I guess, more and more with bodily function related stuff. You can leave those two out if they bother you, but there's the single bed, and then this is access to the cell. Now this is kind of nice here, just a little outdoor activity area. So they got a couple of weights, and this just potentially allows you to have a second prisoner in here, even though you don't have a second bed. It just provides space for multiple to be in the space as well at the same time, and it feels relatively comfortable. And they also have a tree, which is nice. Of course, you put the squirrel up there if you want, or whatnot, but it just greens up the space a little bit, makes it feel a little bit better. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the structure. Let's look at the individual side builds. The police helicopter is small and simple, and I think both of those are good things because the designer did not waste a lot of pieces on this. Ultimately, a kid is just going to want to put a pilot in there and then take off and search around for bad guys, or chase them down and keep eyes on from the sky. So this does all of that without being a huge build that's going to take up a bunch of space and contribute to the cost. This just has a suggestion of a searchlight down here. There's a printed console piece inside the cockpit. The tail does have stickers, unfortunately, one either side, but you can leave those off easily if you hate stickers. And you got the stripe of the vibrant yellow going through there. The main rotor blades are longer than they need to be. What was I just hitting there? I felt like I was having a blade strike. Oh yeah, there's just a little bit of blade strike that happens right there if it's not completely lined up. That's weird. Not a big deal, but yeah, it's just when I had it wobbling a little bit too much. Again, glad this is small, not much more to it. The police SUV or station wagon, depending upon how you want to look at it, is unique. It just looks different from what they've done before, and I respect that. It has not too much of the new vibrant yellow in there. This is a sticker, that's a sticker, and then the police logo on the side is the printed piece once again, which is a 1x4 brick. But yeah, it just looks interesting to me. It looks kind of cool and has enough detail. It opens up in the back and you can see that it is a canine unit, so you'd be able to put the dog back there. And underneath the roof just has the offset seating position, but is not able to effectively hold a second person side by side because of the full thickness of wall or side body panels, and I think that's just fine. No, this is effective, and you could imagine it being kind of fast because it's low to the ground as well, so it does its job as well, I think. And then for the bad guys, we get a garbage truck. Hey, I like getting a garbage truck. I like getting just generally usable utility type stuff, just regular types of vehicles, and not to mention buildings along the way. But yeah, this doesn't look too specifically like a bad guy thing, except that it does have the funny mask sort of deal going on with the sticker on the top there. Of course, you could always just leave that off, but the rest of it looks like just a fine garbage truck, and you go around with it like this by default. It's unfortunate that the tines here do not fold in, but I'll show you how this works. The set includes this garbage bin, and it just has a fish in there. It's just a couple of Technic pieces that stick out. You also got the wheels on the underside, which is nice, but obviously this just comes down and you line it up and get those in there. Turn this around to the other side so you can see it a little bit better. And then I can just pull back. Oops, I missed my alignment. There we go. Pull back here and open up the top like so. Dump the garbage, drop that down, and you're good to go. Or you could leave this up if you want to. Again, I really wish that these tines could fold just one more way. Now this does not have a dump back to it, so in order to get the stuff out, you need to bring these two flaps down and then just turn the whole truck, just angle the whole truck up. But I'm okay with that. I like the striping on there, and then as far as the interior of this is concerned, you don't expect too much, and it does not have too much. It just has a steering wheel and a little, not even an actual chair or seat, so just an elevated platform to get the person's head to be at a more sensible level. But overall, yeah, this is not a bad thing. This could have been sold as an inexpensive standalone set by itself, so I think that's good enough. These three figures are all officially named characters from the Lego City Adventures TV show if you want them to be, or if you don't want them to be, then they can just assume whatever identity you do want. On the left is Chief Wheeler, in the middle is Alan, and on the right is Daisy Kaboom. These all have respectable looks to them overall. I think Daisy is my favorite of the three figures on screen right now, but I do especially like the facial expressions of Alan there in the middle and the hairpiece of Chief Wheeler. Unfortunately, Chief Wheeler does not have an alternate face. It would have been really good to have an alternate face for him, but there you can see the alternate faces for these two. Good printing around the back, and that face especially, that one I really like. Now, this set includes something that is unique, and it's a first. The Daisy Kaboom disguise, so her hairpiece makes her look like a dude, which is just funny. It's just silly, And then these two figures, I believe, are both officially unnamed, but I might be mistaken about that. One on the right, who is a character we see not just in this set, so they have kind of suggestions of stories between the different sets. The printing is pretty good between these two. However, especially it is good with the white print on the legs for the criminal over here. It's much more opaque than usual, and it's good to see, although the white stripes on his torso are not good. You can see the green coming through there. So one of those is a step in the right direction. The other is just what we're used to. And of course, there's not an alternate face for that one, but I want you to see there isn't for this one either. Lastly, here are the leftover pieces, and there are a few decently interesting ones in there. And this is what the sticker sheet looked like in total. Many of those, again, I feel could easily be left off without you really losing anything as far as important details are concerned. So I paid $70, 70 US for this set, which is pretty different from what I'm used to. I'm used to paying $100 for the main police station, headquarters building of the year. So 70 requires a little bit of recalibration compared to what I'm used to. And before starting this review, I went to Brickset and I looked for all police stations that are under their police station tag for comparison, to have a good, at least semi-objective frame of reference, including looking back at the police stations that I wished I had back when I was a kid. So back in the 80s, especially the one from 1986, that one was deluxe. That was the pinnacle for me back in my day, back when I was a kid. And looking at the different ones fairly, I think that for its price here, this is not that bad. I would love for it to be better, but it is a 6+ set, and it is $70 and not $100. If you go look at one of the larger, more substantive $100 police station sets from years ago, you go back more years, you have to then account for inflation. You're going to start looking at what would have been $120 police stations adjusted for inflation today compared to $70 here. I looked at it from a different perspective as well. Something that I frequently do is piece things out, part it out, think, okay, how much would I pay for this? Or how much would this cost as a set? How much would this cost as a set? How much would this cost as a set? And I came up with all the vehicles with minifigs to go with them, something like that, in a set separately. That would probably sell for about $40. Realistically, would probably sell for about $40 retail. Maybe do something like that. Yeah, I mean, just from the amount of stuff there, easily 20, 15, 5. Could even be $45. I'm going to call it 40. It could easily be 45. I'm going to call it 40. So that leaves $30 for this. Is this $30 worth of structure by today's standards for Lego? Yes, I think it easily is. I think it easily is. Now, a lot of people, I'm going to keep harping on this because not everybody watches every video, so you're going to hear a little bit of repetition, but a lot of people like to look at the road plate that's included in a city set and say, well, road plates are ruining Lego City. It's making everything smaller and cheaper and simpler and super overpriced. Super overpriced, definitely. A lot of sets have been super overpriced that have also included the road plates. But the road plates, Lego has the road plate set available where you get 5. You get 4 of the big ones and 1 of the small one for $20. So a road plate can only contribute with its ramps about $5 to the cost of a set. So is this set okay without the road plate? Imagine that's not there at $65. I think that's still okay. I think that's still reasonable. So overall, I think that the designer has done a respectable job here. It is not great, and it cannot compete against the $100 and $120 modern dollar equivalent great large police stations of the past. But for its price, I think it's pretty decent. I think it's a very respectable effort and worth it. If you can find it on sale, all the better more. Those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.